Hey guys, so we're gonna cover some of the progress we've made on the GC8 coupe project. We're gonna go over some of the wiring systems and strategies on the interior, as well as finishing up installing the dash. We've made a ton of progress on the exterior of the car, and we're gonna do a little bit of deep dive into the engine bay and see what's going on in there. Stay tuned. So Evan has the interior pretty much squared away. He's gone through and removed all unnecessary circuits. This car actually has deleted AC, so he's built a custom AC delete plate that actually connects the blower motor box with the main HVAC distribution center. He's got all the harness run and terminated to Deutsch. So a lot of these old connectors, although we love to hunt down certain types of connector shells, whether it be Sumitomo, Yazaki, Tyco, AMP, whatever, sometimes it's just easier to go with a Deutsch connector. So we end up converting most things to Deutsch. It's a motorsport grade connector, they're weather sealed. We really like how they work. They have a different range, this is a DTP. So they have a ton of different ranges of amperage and things that you can run through them. We use them on fans. We use them literally everywhere. You're gonna see them everywhere. I'll walk you through sort of what's going on here. The car is primarily a track day car, like I said before, so he didn't need to have a ton of radio stuff or any of that. We're just very simply controlling everything with the Haltech. He has a Haltech IC7 dash and a Haltech Elite 1500. Speedo is gonna be handled by a GPS antenna. So this runs into a Haltech GPS speed module. We have our CAN Lambda wideband 1 here as well. This is a custom mount plate that I made probably 6 months ago or whatever. Now it's nice to see it fully installed and all that. Again, you'll see Deutsch connectors are a factory termination for Haltech. So Deutsch connectors directly into the wideband 1. This is the jumper to go out to the dash for the IC7. These are some of the terminations and things in order to make sure that this has the appropriate amount of amperage supplied to it to do the preheater for the O2 sensor. Up underneath, which will be covered by the dash, but up underneath, Evan's mounted the Haltech fuse and relay panel directly to the HVAC delete plate, which is really cool. He's got a piece of motorsport grade, aero grade, silicone reinforced tubing here between the two, and he made this receiver plate. There was some sort of a 3D printed piece here that's really cool. It has the blower motor resistor in it, so as the air rushes over it, it cools the blower motor resistor to make sure that the fan is controlled at the appropriate requested speed, which is very interesting. So that's very cool. Form factor, really awesome. He'll be able to service any sort of fuses and relays that he needs to. It's all accessible underneath the dash, but it's up and out of the way from your feet and all that, which is pretty cool. We'll come over to the other side and just look at sort of how it's been pared down and simplified. Yeah, so as far as original relays and things like that, the only stuff that's kind of original to the car that we need to control are things like the fuel pump electrical system as far as triggering the relays that we're gonna use to send power to the pumps. The headlights, turn signals, hazard, that sort of thing. Those relays still exist, but for the most part, everything else has been stripped out. The clock spring is actually stripped out of it, so now Evan wired up just a contact spring that will go on the back of the hub. This will be the continuity for your horn button. So your connectivity, this spring will ride on the back of a contact plate. So no matter which way you turn, you'll always have contact to that plate and your horn will work. So the car is going to be street legal. So we need to have lights and brake lights, turn signals, horn, et cetera, in order to pass inspection for that. But it is old enough that, you know, it doesn't really need to have every single thing that it had originally. As far as the OEM harness, Evan's gone through and pared it down to the absolute most minimal, which is required. So this will all fit really nice and tight up under the dash. We were able to find these really cool factory style zip ties that go onto those coarse threaded welded studs that are in all the factory cars. We use them on everything. We absolutely love them. So it just looks original, but just extremely simplified. This is wiring for CAN and auxiliary sensors and control switches and things like that. IC7 dash again. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get the dashboard in, show you how all that stuff fits up, and then we can do a quick overview of the bay. All right, updates on the engine bay. Evan's gone through and built a fresh engine harness for this car. We've had a lot of spare circuits and conductors and things like that, so he's terminated out to some Deutsches. If we ever need to expand from here, we can. All these little mount plates and things, Evan drew up in CAD and cut out on the plasma table. Those are super nice because it holds everything in place, very OEM looking. We opted for a 4-bar Haltech Motorsport map sensor in the bay. It just reduces the length of the vacuum lead and boost lead so that our reference isn't delayed between the ECU and the motor. Just a little bit more finite control. Not a huge issue, but it's just nice. If you have the opportunity to incorporate a map sensor directly near your source, it's just nicer to do it that way. He's got the boost control solenoid all plumbed up and things like that. Now this is an interesting hodgepodge of stuff which we went over in the previous video, because this is like an NA intake manifold. So we have to go sort of hard corner with the inlet for the turbo instead of going underneath the manifold like some of the more modern like EJ205, 257s. This is actually like a part off of like a 94 legacy turbo pulling the intake air from this side of the manifold. So otherwise, power steering lines and things like that, PTFE line was built, return as well, all heat sleeved where it goes past the turbo, very important on these cars. The lines are very close to the up pipe and that can cause issues. Otherwise, new battery tray, cleaned up some of the factory systems over in the corner. He's got a lead for the alternator control and charging. Yeah, so it's pretty close. We'll get finished up and I can start building a base map for the car and programming the dash and programming the Haltech to get everything up to speed. All right, let me peel back the protective film here. So Evan has gone through and installed all of our front end bits. The last time you guys saw this car, it was just the roller with no nose from the body shop. So we had a brand new set of JDM corners in the box. So got those installed, bought a brand new JDM version 6 STI Type R front grille, and a brand new OEM 2.5 RS bumper, same as a version 6 JDM, but we're just able to purchase that at Subaru new in the US, so we did that. And then this is a replica V limited lip, just because we know it's gonna get bottomed out and destroyed or whatever, so had that painted up as well. OEM fogs are looking good here. We also have the fog light covers as well, paint matched, ready to go, and we'll get some STI emblems on there or whatever. So let's go to the back and check out the progress back there. And on the back, we had a brand new set of red clears in the box that we had thrown on. This is a brand new 2.5 RS rear bumper as well that we got from Subaru USA, and that basically completes the rear. This is a replica V6 Type R wing because the originals are all beat up anyway. This, I forget the name of the company, but they make a really, really, really close replica to the original, so we went with that. So things we still need to finish up, new belt moldings. We were able to find and refurbish some quarter panel trims or quarter window trims because they are discontinued. We have all of our top trim tracks and seals and weather seals and window seals, things like that, as well as our sail panel roof trims that still need to go on. We were able to get a set of used side skirts. These are discontinued, so we had these color matched as well. I'm not gonna open these up right now until we have like the appropriate clips to put them on, and then the mirrors as well, which we got some Spec C carbon, RPG carbon mirrors that still need to go on. So the next video will be calibration, doing the first startup, doing a full systems check, and then we'll be on the dyno, do the finish up after that. Hopefully you get to see it in its final form.